Welcome back to the Boxer Garage. Today we're kicking off day one on a really heart-touching project that we're very excited about taking on. And for those of you that don't already know, here at Boxer Moto we specialize in reviving old, beat up, broke down BMW R100s from the dead, rebirthing them into beautiful, in my opinion beautiful, Cafe Racer motorcycles. So if that's something that interests you, stick around because this one is going to be very special. We are starting a very special project for a client who reached out to Boxer Moto because unfortunately his 1978 BMW R65 Cafe Racer was recently swallowed up by the tragic hurricanes in Florida this past season. But luckily for him, we're taking it on and we're going to rebuild his bike for him. We are going to be taking the inspiration and spirit from this R65 and transforming it into a mean, ripping 1000cc R100 machine. So today, we are starting from scratch. We have to tear this bike down all the way to bare bones, completely down to its foundation, so we have a blank canvas. And that is where the magic happens. So let's dive right in and see if this old bike has any secrets for us during the teardown. Welcome to Tampa Project. We're about halfway through this teardown, and I just wanted to show how necessary and important this teardown process is. This wiring is just a rat's nest. You never know who's in here before you, what they've done, what any of these aftermarket switches mean. It's all gotta go. It's all gotta get replaced. All right, the frame's tore down, the engine's gone, the gearbox is gone, the wheels, the fairing, all the old wiring, everything's gone. The only thing that's left is this swing arm, which we need for the next step, which is fabricating. We're gonna cut these old gussets out, get this frame all cleaned up, get some new mounts traced out on some flat stock and migged up to this frame. So let's get it cleaned up, let's get the angle grinder out and get this puppy off the powder coat. Hey, Jeff. Let's go over his project details. Okay. So he sent me these photographs. When we spoke, he wanted to keep the color the same. So we're gonna call that for now just like a powder blue. And he also wants to keep this accent on the tank. So the tank accents. The seat, I can tell right away, is a tough side, which I've already reached out. Great guy. If you guys, anyone out there needing a custom motorcycle seat, reach Tough Side out. They are fantastic. Great quality products. Tough Side seat. Oh, I'm also seeing he has the race forks. So he has inverted forks. He wants to keep that. Okay, I see here he's got crash bars. How many lights? He has lights mounted on it. One on the left. Okay, just one on the left. So we're gonna put one on the right. 2 crash bars, light. We usually mount them over here, so we'll probably just do that. Switch it to the right side. It makes more sense. Okay, now let's take a look at the seat fabrication. So yeah, he has those stock gussets still on there. Bullet turns. We have to get this round subframe with our floating gussets made up, fabricated. Get this round hoop fabricated. Get this seat ordered so we can get it ready. Does he want the cowl back? He does want the cowl back. He wants this to be painted the same flat blue as the tank. He pretty much doesn't want anything changed, but he wants our touch to it. We're doing bobber shocks. We're getting rid of this subframe. Floating rear seat? Yeah, we're doing a floating rear seat, same seat, but floating, getting rid of this. License plate bracket. Do our license plate bracket, probably on the other side. So that means what we're gonna have to be doing now is prepping the rest of this while we wait for this to get fabricated up. Good to work. After taking a quick peek at the drawings, we have made a grave mistake. We had removed these gussets, which you can see are now back on. We had to re-weld them because the gussets for that style seat we have fit perfectly with the already installed shock mount of the main frame. So what does that mean? We have to cut out 2 of these. This is a template, so we're gonna make 2 identical versions of this. Get our angle, it's about 5 degrees for the amount of kick we want that seat to be. And I have a way for us to never make that mistake again. We are going to print the photo so we have quick reference every time. Oh yeah, toner printer. Black and white. Black and white and super tiny, no concern. We're rolling with it. This goes on the wall. No more mistakes, ever. Now that we have our seat frame gussets figured out, we have to move on to cutting out our shock mounting gussets. So I got them laid out here on some 3/8 inch steel. We're gonna go take it over to the grinder and get those cut out. All right guys, all the fabrication and welding is done on the main frame. Now what we have to do is get the swing arm tore down with the drive shaft removed so that can also go off to powder coat. We're gonna be taking you guys along for that next week. We'll go out to the powder coating shop and show you how that process works. We have to get the wheels in our sandblasting cabinet because next week we have a brand new powder coating oven being delivered and we're gonna show you the process of assembling that. Also in part 2, we have a lot of drivetrain and engine teardown to do. We want to make sure the engine is in good health and getting anything that's not replaced before it gets finally assembled. So thanks again for sticking around for part 1. Stay tuned, make sure you're subscribed and notified for part 2 of Tampa Project, and we'll see you guys over on that side.